All right, again, it's Tuesday. I think the day is March 26th. This is the third inspection of the season so far. We did one half inspection and one whole inspection. I am switching over to my beekeeping gloves because the other ones weren't cutting muster, and these guys are still pretty protective of their honey reserves. Personally, I think it's because they know there's still some cold weather coming, and we're not in a nectar flow yet. So they're basically protecting their resources is the gist of what's happening there. All right, I imagine this hive is going to be very much in the same situation, if not better. I've looked occasionally while just popping this lid, and yeah, they've consumed over half of that pollen patty that I put in here last week on top, and I imagine the bottom one's probably pretty clear. So pull these off. We're going to get rid of the feed. They have plenty of natural food in here. I'm smoking them, just trying to get them off the sugar as much as I can so I can chuck it without killing a bunch of them. Pollen patties. We put those in last week to stimulate brood production and get them moving. But I don't think we had to, because honestly these guys are crushing it already. Okay, so start with our frame hanger. And again, same thing, it's 75 degrees today, unseasonably warm. The goal today is just clean everything off, make sure everything's moving like it should. We're gonna have some cool down temps this week, down into normal temperatures though. So we're really looking at getting down into the 50s, which for now is pretty good. This frame has about half honey on the back and about a quarter honey up here. Again, these hives have just got tons of food still. That one's light. Nothing. Okay. Nothing and nothing. Now what's interesting is last week, if you watched my video at all, the queen or the bees were super kind of feisty. They were flying right up in my face. And now, pretty chill. Oh wow, this one's full of pretty mature larvae. It's going to be a full frame of capped brood here soon. This one is not. So, backside of frame 2, the side facing the camera now, is full of eggs and larvae and capped brood, or eggs and larvae and mature larvae. I don't see any capped brood yet, but it's got, she's laid it out on this side. The other side's empty, but this side's pretty full. Oh, there's a lady bringing in some pollen now. So they're starting to find pollen, starting to bring it in, all natural, so I don't have to supplement them anymore. Oh, this is all capped. Frames of kind of honey, half frame of brood. brood, and then this one's capped brood already. And this is on the top box, so I'm trying to a little bit. When they're laying downstairs. So it's got capped brood. Now, I haven't seen her yet this year, my queen here, but I know she's in here getting with it. See, we've got capped brood and closing it up on both sides. Seeing a lot of drone brood yet, though. So that's frame 5. So frames 4, 5, and half of 3 already in the upper box already have eggs, larvae, and capped brood. Now, the reason I keep turning is it's easier to see down into the cells using the sunlight. Side of frame 6 is mostly the pollen, and I assume it's from the pollen patties that I put in there. They are bringing in pollen. I see a couple, 3, 4 of them on every frame. I see at least 3 or 4 that have pollen in their pollen pants. So that's an open frame for her to lay on. She might be there. I might have just missed her. This frame is pretty empty, and I would expect that. It's got a little bit of honey stores, a little bit of pollen, but they have plenty of resources to feed their babies that are coming. And they got babies coming. Holy crap, that's a full frame of honey right there. Whew. Wowzers. Okay, so that's what we got up here. We have a hive building. Yay! Hi, ladies. It's not, though. Tip it over. That's promising, though. She's got room to lay up here. I switched the boxes last week, and I'm kind of regretting that decision. I think she was using it as a brood chamber, and I don't know, I overthink this shit too many times. Okay, and this year I'm going to bring this hive up just one more layer. It's so low, you know. Let's see. Frame hanger. Alright, looking pretty good though. Let's give them a little smoke. Not much left in the old smokeroonie. But it did its job. So if you're new to beekeeping and you're wondering, the smoke, it tricks bees into thinking there's a fire, and they go down and they kind of gorge themselves on honey in preparation for whatever is to come. It's so funny to see them with their butts sticking out of the cells too. It's just hilarious. Alright, frame 1 is honey. both sides, just like you would expect. Frame 2 is lighter, and as you can see, I did burn the bottom frame and it messed up the wax right here, so I'm hoping they're going to rebuild that out. And it actually looks like that may be what they're doing right now. So we'll keep that frame there. So again, what I'm doing is I'm flipping around and just looking so that the sun is looking down into the cells, and that helps me see what's down inside here. And right now, this one on this side, which is the side closest to the camera, is mostly pollen stores. They're storing a lot of pollen there. I don't see any eggs, and then on this back side it's all honey. So that's frame 3. On the last one, back side of frame 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 were all brood. Brood. Quite a bit of pollen though. I'm excited. I mean, something's blooming somewhere. My hive is upside down, I can tell. She's upstairs for sure. I have a lot of pollen and some honey in here. Just tiny little bits of capped brood, but I can't tell if that's like just never hatched. But most of my brood is definitely upstairs. So what I'm doing now is I'm pushing my brood down. So brood should be down here, empty is up top. And because this is where I saw most of my eggs northern brood, Alright, so what I did was I just picked 3 frames of brood from the top, and I'm moving them down here. And the idea is that if you move your brood down, it'll keep your queen down in the brood chamber, and it'll keep them building the hive in the proper way. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's see, so let's go. Frame. Every time I do this, I just think I'm screwing them up. But I don't think I don't think I am today. That's on frame 2. It's a solid set of results and a good inspection for the day. Alright, so again, we didn't see the queen, but we know she's in there. I didn't see the queen on either of my frames, honestly. Make sure I didn't accidentally drop her over here. And I did not. Alright. Let's close her up. She's doing what she's supposed to do. Now that they're bringing in regular pollen, like I said, I won't be feeding them. They have plenty of honey in here, I think. You know, when I compare what I'm hearing to the keepers in my local beekeeper organization, you know, we're definitely on the upside of the way our hive is. They were telling other keepers, you know, you'd be lucky if you had 5 frames of bees, and me and one other beekeeper had at least 10 to 12 in both of our hives. And the only thing I will say that both her and I did, and we followed the directions of one of our mentors, and he said to wrap the hive with that insulation in the wintertime, and we did. And you know, I can't say for sure that made all the difference, but it appears to have made a difference. We have a full hive, 2 of them, And I'm just really excited because we're getting ready to get into pollination season. So have a great day.